Good morning, everyone. Mr. Mann here, and welcome to the start of week 3 of our lockdown. I hope you're all well, and I hope you had a very successful week last week. I'm going to start a series for assemblies over the next few weeks, which are going to be under the theme which got titled here around mental health. Something that I feel is so important at this time, more than any time really. And what I hope to explore over the next 4 weeks is some different themes around mental health. And today is kind of like a general introduction to it. I hope it resonates with some of you, but I think it's an important message for everybody. So the first question to ask is, what is mental health? And I always think it's always good at these times to actually revert to the experts and what do they define it as. And so the next film I'm going to show you just gives you a little brief summary of what does mental health actually mean.
You can't tell how someone feels just by looking at them or what they share online. To the outside world, our lives may look perfect, even if in reality they aren't. I'm always worrying about doing well at school, and with the end of year test coming up, I'm not sure how much longer I can cope. My thoughts swarm around my head, sometimes keeping me up all night. Some days it's just all too much, and I feel like I'm lost in space. When I did badly on one of my tests, I just about kept it together until I got home. Then I broke down crying in front of my mum. She listened for a bit, and then she told me that, just like physical health, we all have mental health. It's our feelings, our thinking, our emotions, and our moods. She then said that feeling down, angry, and stressed is a normal part of life, just like it's normal to feel happy, confident, and carefree sometimes. We all have positive and negative emotions that come and go based on what's happening around us. These are everyday feelings. Good mental health means experiencing negative emotions. It's not always about being happy. Mum can relate to the feelings of stress. So when Mum suggested I take a break from everything and do something I enjoy, I actually took her advice. So I made myself a hot chocolate, snuggled up in a duvet and watched a film. And you know what? Afterwards, I felt so much better. Mum should take her own advice.
Most of us only ever share the good things. We don't like to share how we really feel. Every morning when I wake up, negative thoughts stream through my head. Getting out of bed and pretending I'm okay takes all the energy I have. As the day goes on, the negative thoughts turn from a stream into a river. The water rushes through my head so loudly it's hard to concentrate in lessons. And some days it's so bad it feels like a waterfall that's trying to pull me over the edge. Everything is so overwhelming. I didn't think my friends would understand if I told them how down I was feeling. But when Sasha opened up to me about how stressed she was feeling, I told her. I wasn't sure how to bring up how I'd been feeling, so I started by saying that I didn't feel like myself. Just her listening made me feel like she understood. She told me some things that had helped her, so I tried them too, but it didn't make much of a difference. Even when I tried to be around my friends, I felt alone. The things I used to enjoy weren't fun anymore.
I was really worried about Andre and not sure what to do. He was quiet and wasn't hanging out with us like he used to. So I asked our head of year for some advice. He suggested I get Andre to speak to him since his negative feelings weren't going away.
I didn't want to speak to our head of year, but I also didn't want to keep feeling so down, so I went. He said that sometimes we have overwhelming feelings that can be more intense than our everyday feelings. These feelings hang around for a long time and change the way we feel, think, and behave. They can stop us doing what we want to in life. That's what I was going through. He also said that if we're physically unwell, we let people know, we ask for help. It should be no different with mental health. Sometimes our overwhelming feelings are brought on because of things in our life. Sometimes they happen for no reason at all. After hearing this, I felt much less alone and it felt good to talk. Scientists have found exercise can help when you're feeling low, so our head of year encouraged me to sign up to the school football club, which Sasha was already in. I still have days when the river is there. But now I'm beginning to understand my mental health. I'm learning how to cope. Our head of year reminded me that my friends, family, teachers, and lots of others at school are there to help just as much as he is. I had no idea the people around me could be so understanding. And while it's not always easy to talk about my mental health, the person I'm talking to might be able to help. If you don't feel like talking, that's fine. You could try writing, sports, reading, art, music, playing with your pet, whatever makes you feel better.
If you're the person someone talks to when they're struggling, just listen with no pressure or judgments. You don't have to have the answer. If you feel unsure about anything, you can speak to a trusted adult. Talking about mental health doesn't have to be difficult. After all, it's something we all have.
So I hope that gave you an idea about what actual mental health is. And as it says here, we all have mental health, just as we all have physical health. And sometimes we have good days and sometimes not. And mental health includes a whole host of things: our emotions, our psychological health, our social well-being. This means it can affect how we feel, how we think, and how we act every single day, from highs to lows. And good mental health allows people to develop, to learn, and to manage the stresses of life, because life isn't always perfect, as we know, and especially now we're in a lockdown and we're not able to go out and socialise and be with the people that we really want to be at times. That puts a lot of, pressures on us and makes us feel sad and makes us feel low. And I guess understanding that and then knowing what to do about it is so important, because our mental health can go up and it can go down over time. And there is this kind of scale, this sliding scale, where we're feeling low and our well-being is poor, to times where everything is absolutely fantastic and we have great well-being and great, happy mental health. And that can be seen here in the scale with putting words to those different moods that we might have, from being in crisis to being absolutely excelling. And as I said, we can be on this scale, we can be at the top, i.e. excelling or thriving 1 minute, and then we can be in crisis within minutes, days, weeks, or sometimes months. And it's really important to know where you are on the scale and thinking to yourself, okay, I feel like this at the moment, but I have felt like that. And then what do I have to do then to try and maneuver myself back up the scale if that's the case is needed? Can you look here and see the words, and can you find times when you felt one of these? Exhausted, depressed, irritable and sad, or calm and positive, and joyful and really full of energy and cheerful. I'm sure we've all felt those different emotions even in the last couple of weeks since we've been not in school. So as we come to the second part of this assembly, it's really just thinking to ourselves, okay, when we are slowly lower down the scale, what can we do about it to improve? What can we do ourselves to help ourselves improve? And here is just, you saw in the first film, you saw a few things like doing some sport or some activity like that, going to speak to a friend, or if you're really concerned and it's not, you're not able to feel better about yourself, then it's about going to speak to somebody, a trusted adult, a member of staff, your tutor, your head of year. Even in lockdown, you can contact the school. And so in this next little film, it just gives you a few tips on what you could do to help yourself. And there are some really, really easy things that you can do to just help yourself. And this week, choose one of them. Can you find a time? And we all can find a time where we can connect with a member of our family or some friends. Can we find a way of eating slightly healthier this week? Going out and doing a bit of sport, going out for a walk or a run or a bike ride. You can do all those things. Get some fresh air, get out the house. Really, really important. Finding a way in which you can give yourself a little bit of time to focus on you and nobody else. So, so important. And you know what? If things are getting on top of you, then speaking to your family, speaking to your friends, and you know what? You can always contact the school, sending an email to your progress leader, to your tutor. They will be there for you. You see them every day. So it's so, so important that you get in touch and then we can help you. All right. But if not, loads of organisations there that you can see on the screen, lots of things you can look up online, and instant advice, loads and loads out there for you. So I'm going to finish here, and all I'm going to say is that I hope you have a really fantastic week ahead. Lots of learning going on, lots of important stuff to get your teeth into, and I look forward to speaking to you next week when I'll do the second part of this series of assemblies on mental health. Have a great week, everyone, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Bye-bye now.